I think a different way to avoid church hurt is putting people on pedestals. They're your pastor and they might be your leader, but they will fail you. 100%. Whether it's an unanswered text, you feel like they're avoiding you, you can't crucify them for that. If there's a moral failure involved, you walk away from the church because your pastor had a moral failure. Shame on them for that. Shame on you as well for walking away from the church, because it's like, that's a person. How do we avoid church hurt? Because there's ways we can avoid it too, right? Like sometimes with our own decisions, right? We place ourselves in the way of getting hurt, right? So for example, like burnout. If there are churches who don't abuse, right? But there's people who they love to serve and they just want to, I just want to, bro, I've heard it so many times. It's like, I just want to be here all day because, it takes up my time. So, I'm entertained, I'm not off doing other, stupid stuff. Like I'm not, I've heard that before.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, bro, that's amazing. I'm glad that you're here, but you don't have to serve every single service, right? Like you can sit, it's like, no, I know, but I just love serving. The team needs me. And it's like, okay, but they can figure it out. Okay. Right. If you keep stepping in, then you're never giving them a chance to figure it out.
Right.
So let them figure it out, take a seat and receive what pastor's preaching today.
Another thing is that, and this is for me, this actually happened to me. But when we had the transition, and the team, I mean, I was going through a lot of stuff personally, like, in my life, financially, my living situation. I was going through a lot. And
this was 2023, right?
No, this was literally, past the transition. This was actually last year.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Got it.
Okay. So there were times that I wasn't going to church. There were times that I wasn't serving.
Sinner.
Like I was literally staying away.
Just kidding.
And for myself, me personally, I felt like that was like the moment for the enemy to attack my life. And a lot of the times it's like, man, forget this church, bro. I come here, only my boys, like the people that I'm really cool with, they acknowledge me. They know that I'm not here. They'll be the ones to check on me. Everybody else is like, whatever.
All right, like no pastor, no leader has reached out.
Correct. Like nobody, and I've given this so much time. Nobody even knows my name. I don't even know if I want to be here anymore. And I started to kind of like eat that myself and in my mind. And then the times I would show up, sometimes I'll be angry because I felt like nobody was like even acknowledging me or whatever.
Yeah.
And one day, shout outs to Pastor Key, she literally just comes up to me and she just goes, "Hey Alex, how you doing?" I froze. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, she knows my name.
Wow.
Like in my mind.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that she might have known my name for the past 8 months.
Right.
But because I was allowing the enemy to overtake my thoughts, and really how I said, and this is why I said this earlier, just focus on your relationship with God. I was kind of selling myself out of even going to church at times. And the moment that I'm like, wow, they do know me. They know my name. We may not have conversations all the time, but they know I'm here. They know I exist.
Yeah.
That changed everything completely.
Yeah.
Now I wanted to like serve more. Now I wanted to be more involved. Now I wanted to help more.
Right.
So I say that to say that a lot of the times we sell ourselves out of our own, not only blessings, but we allow the enemy to kind of put that in our heads, and we shy away from what we could be getting from the church.
Right. So 3 things I want to touch on what you just said. All right. 1, isolation. Right. That's the thing. The Bible says that he's like a roaring lion looking who to devour. And lions are very strategic and wise hunters. That's why they're the king of the jungle. They wait for the vulnerable one to be to stay behind, whether it's the sick one, the lonely one, the young one, whatever it is, and that's when they attack. So isolation is never good for you. Even if you're church hurt, whatever it is, stay in community. You don't want to go to church, that's fine. Well, not fine, but at least stay in community some way, somehow. Right. The second thing that I wanted to bring up is this is for the leader, right? It's like, man, it takes 2 seconds for you to send a text.
For sure.
It takes 2 seconds for you to send a text. It takes 2 seconds for you to just stop someone in the church hallway and be like, "Hey, man, how you been?" it takes nothing out of your day and it costs you nothing. The worst thing that can happen is that they don't reply.
Correct. Yeah.
But you know what? Even if they don't reply, they're gonna see it. That is a seed sown. They're gonna see. You know what? He did reach out to me.
Yeah.
I just didn't have time to reply. Whatever. And the third thing is allowing the enemy to put that into our heads, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, how do we avoid being church hurt? Right? It's that, man. It's like acknowledging, like, man, you know what? I'm letting the devil play with my thoughts right now, man. Like,
I'm tripping.
Exactly. You know, it's like, I'm the problem, right? Like, and it's like, this is where we also, as volunteers, have to have a level of grace with our leaders. Because it's like, man, you don't know what it is to run a church. I don't know what it is to run a church. I'm not a lead pastor.
Yeah.
You know, but I get a glimpse of it when I'm around my pastors and they're getting pulled in 5 different directions. Everybody wants to talk to them. Everybody is texting them. Everybody's calling them. And it's like, man, you know, like, you have to understand to a certain degree that these are people too. You know, these people
100%.
are married. They've got kids. Some pastors have other jobs on the side because they're bivocational. So it's like, you got to understand, man, that, man, if a text message goes through and they don't answer you, like, you got to understand. And listen, I've been on that end of that stick as well, where it's like, man, they don't even, like, I keep getting left on red, whatever, yada, yada. And it's like, you have to realize and you have to understand that these are people too. Because how many times do you get a text message and maybe it slips through the cracks and you're like, oh, shoot, I forgot to answer back to this person. You know, and it's like, it happens.
Right.
Because we all have busy lives. We all put on our pants one leg at a time, like, you know, like, so again, how to, you know, I think a different way to avoid church hurt is, because we talked about it earlier, is putting people on pedestals, right? And again, just like how I brought this up, right? That they're people too. On the checking in on you aspect of pastors and leaders, they're also people in the sense of, like, they're your pastor and they might be your leader, but they will fail you.
Cook, my boy. Cook.
They will fail
human,
you.
yeah.
They will fail you one way or another. Whether it's an unanswered text, you feel like they're avoiding you, or they might say, you know, something maybe that's a little heretical on stage because they had a bad day, whatever. They thought that this was gonna be a mic drop, and it was like, ooh, you know. And you can't crucify them for that, right? But now, you know, if there's a moral failure involved, you walk away from the church because your pastor had a moral failure. Shame on them for that. But I think also there's a little bit of like I'm going to say it, but I'm, you know, it's like shame on you as well for walking away from the church, because it's
100%.
like, that's a person. How many times have you messed up and they've been there for you?
Correct.
Whether it's your pastor or your leader has been there for you to be like, dude, you messed up. That's fine, bro. Just get back up. Let's pray. But then the second that man falls, you're like, man, screw this church. He was full of crap anyways.
Right.
You know, so it's like,
and that's why, like, even when we had, you know, the issues that we had at our church, I would hear everybody and they sounded so angry.
Yeah.
Oh, he did this and he did that, and how could he, that mother effer and that. And it's like, he's human too.
right.
He's gonna fail.
Right.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, at least for me, and it may sound crazy with what I'm about to say, but I felt like, you're human.
Right.
I'm okay with that.
Right.
What I'm not okay with is how it played out.
Right.
For sure.
But
Exactly, yeah.
The lying and whatever.
correct.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with the fact that this happened. Why? Because you are human just like I am.
Yeah.
And I know I fall short. So what makes the difference for me to put you on a pedestal because you give a word on Sunday?
Right.